there! My name is Tanner, and I'd like to welcome you back to my YouTube channel. Why, yes, I did shave a couple of days ago, so forgive me for looking like a 12-year-old instead of a 25-year-old. Now that we've got that out of the way, for today's video, I'm going to be counting down my top 10 creatures from American folklore. Now, to clarify, this will be a list of the various, rather creative, creatures that people from all across the US told stories about. Now, this list will also be in no particular order except for the number 1 spot, because I wanted to save the best for last, or rather first in this scenario. So without further ado, here is my top 10 creatures from American folklore. Number 10, the skunk. Now, as I mentioned in my top 10 mythical creatures video, link in the cards, the skunk is a creature from the hemlock forests of northern Pennsylvania, aka my neck of the woods. Skunks are described as being extremely ugly, with, quote, ill-fitting skin covered in warts and other blemishes, end of quote. So ashamed of their ugliness are they, that they will stay in their underground burrows and cry. One strange thing I found in my research of skunks is that they are said to have a rather unusual defense mechanism. They say that when a skunk is captured and or startled, they will literally dissolve into a puddle of tears and bubbles. How sad. Number 9. The Cactus Cat. Now, the Cactus Cat was rumored to live in the deserts of the American Southwest, and are said to be about the size of a bobcat, but with strange hair-like spines all over its body, hence the name. These spines were said to be particularly long when extending from the legs and along the tail, which was branched at the end like a saguaro cactus, again, hence the name. These spines were said to be used to slash open cacti to allow the juice to drip out. On later nights, the Cactus Cat would return to the cactus and drink the now fermented juice, thereby getting drunk, and then would shriek drunkenly throughout the night. I guess cactus cats live by the mantra of drink cactus juice, nothing's quenchier. I know at least some of you in my audience might be able to recognize that reference. Anyway, cactus cats were also said to mate for life, attracting a female with the smell of slashed open saguaro. Not exactly how I would do it, but hey, to each their own. However, if more than one female were attracted to the scent of slashed open saguaro, then they would fight to the death in order to mate with the male. Then, the mated pair would drink the fermented cactus juice together, and then, within the next few weeks, produce a litter of kittens. Now, just like with mundane kittens, cactus kittens were said to be born completely blind. However, they were also said to be born without spikes, so until they grew the spikes, they were utterly defenseless. But for real though, can you imagine how cute a cactus kitten would be? I mean, really. Number 8. The Handle Hound. The Handle Hound is another creature I mentioned in my top 10 mythical creatures video. And it's a creature that was told in stories from lumberjack camps in Wisconsin and Minnesota. Now, there are 2 reasons why it's called the Handle Hound. The first of which being, it looks like a strange combination of axe and dog, with a head shaped like the blade of an axe, a body shaped like the handle, and 4 short, stumpy, dog-like legs. It's also called the Handle Hound because its diet consists solely of the wooden handles of axes that happened to have been left unattended. Now, there was one weird weakness that I came across in my research that Handle Hounds had. For some strange reason, an Handle Hound cannot digest the handle of an axe if it happens to be made of oak wood. Weird, huh? Number 7. The Hide-Behind. The Hide-Behind is a mysterious creature that haunts forests and preys on any humans that happen to wander through its territory. They were usually the ones blamed when loggers mysteriously disappeared and wouldn't return to camp. They're known for the distinct ability to hide behind an object when someone tries to look at it, hence the name. However, they can be sufficiently repelled by the smell of alcohol, so if you're wandering through the woods and you hear a strange noise behind you can't explain, you might need to keep some alcohol around, just in case. Number 6. The Ball-Tailed Cat. The ball-tailed cat is a creature that is said to look like a mountain lion, but with an especially long tail and a large bony sphere-shaped mass on the end of that tail, hence the name. Now, according to my research, the ball-tailed cat was considered an ambush predator. Supposedly, it would climb up a tree, wait for an unsuspecting victim to come along, then swing its tail like a wrecking ball, stunning, wounding, or killing the victim. Yikes. Number 5. The Teakettler. Similar to the axe-handle hounds, stories of the teakettlers originate from the lumberjack camps of Wisconsin and Minnesota. These creatures were said to look mostly canine, but with short, stubby legs and cat-like ears. However, there are 3 rather unusual characteristics that are associated with this creature. First of all, they will never walk forwards, only backwards. Second, they will make a whistling noise akin to that of a boiling tea kettle, hence the name. And third, when they make said whistling noise, steam will be released from the creature's mouth. Weird, huh? Now, the story goes that teakettlers are a rather shy species, so only a few lumberjacks have ever really seen one. However, if one hears a boiling tea kettle, and one cannot be found in the immediate vicinity, then one of these creatures is most likely nearby. Number 4. The Jackalope. Now, the jackalope is a very well-known American creature, and is arguably the most mundane of the creatures on this list, if you can call a mythical creature mundane, am I right? Now, appearance-wise, a jackalope is generally described as a jackrabbit, also known as a hare, with the antlers of a pronghorn, also known as the American antelope. Hence the name, which is a combination of jackrabbit and antelope. Now, there are many legends regarding the jackalope, and most of these are considered outlandish and tongue-in-cheek, even way back then. Most of them say that trying to catch one of these creatures is fraught with danger. They were described as being so dangerous you needed to wear some type of armor on your legs, usually stovepipes, to prevent them from being gored. However, one surefire way to catch a jackalope, supposedly, was to tempt it with whiskey, its preferred drink. Also, jackalope milk was sometimes said to be a cure-all when consumed, and they could mimic human voices. In fact, supposedly, when cowboys sang campfire songs in the Old West, it was often said that a jackalope would either mimic their voices and or sing along, usually as a tenor. At any rate, this is another creature that I definitely think would be a good candidate for a future Pokemon species at some point. I mean, there are many different ways you could go with it, so the sky's pretty much the limit. Number 3. The Jersey Devil. Alongside the Hide-Behind, the Jersey Devil is one of the more sinister creatures on this list. The Jersey Devil is said to live in the Pine Barrens of southern New Jersey, and there are several versions of the origin story of this creature. Most of these origin stories, however, have one thing in common, that being his mother, Pine Barrens resident Jane Leeds, aka Mother Leeds. One story claims that Mother Leeds was the mother of 12, count them, 12 children, and when she found out that she was pregnant for the 13th time, she cursed in frustration, saying that the child would be a devil. When the child was born, at first he was human, but then he transformed into a creature described as having a horse-like head, goat-like horns, bat-like wings, a forked tail, and hooves instead of feet. Yikes. Screaming, the devil that was formerly the child beat everyone in the room with his tail, and then took off into the night. In other versions of the tale, Mother Leeds was actually a witch, and the creature's father was the devil himself. So, if you happen to be visiting the Pine Barrens, I recommend you bring some type of protection from this creature, possibly a cross and or some holy water. Numero 2. The Snallygaster. By far one of the strangest creatures on this list, the Snallygaster is a dragon-like creature whose story originates from German immigrants to Maryland. In fact, Snallygaster is derived from the original German name Schneller Geist, or quick ghost. The Snallygaster is described as being half reptile, half bird, with a metallic beak filled with razor-sharp teeth, and, strangely enough, occasionally octopus tentacles. It is said to swoop down from the sky and carry off its prey, some stories claiming it would suck the blood of its victims. However, it could be easily repelled by the image of a seven-pointed star, which can still be seen painted on local barns to this day. Number 1. Sasquatch. I mean, come on, what would a list of American creatures be without one of the most famous ones, if not the most famous one? Sasquatch, aka Bigfoot, is a bipedal, hairy, ape-like creature who lives in the wilderness and leaves behind large footprints, hence the name. Although this creature is strongly associated with the Pacific Northwest, aka Washington, Oregon, and British Columbia, there have been reported sightings of this creature all across America. The creature is described as having black, dark brown, or dark reddish hair, can be between 6 to 9 feet tall, and the footprints can reach up to 24 inches long. That's a 2-foot long footprint, in case you were wondering. Some people also describe it as having an odor akin to a skunk, hence the alternate name for it, the skunk ape. Now, Bigfoot, of course, has had a huge impact on popular culture, so much so that there is an entire Wikipedia page just listing the various ways it's been featured in pop culture. Seriously, look it up! And there we have it. That was my top 10 list of creatures from American folklore. If you like this video and you want more, please give this video a like and subscribe so you don't miss any new videos. Also, if you have any ideas for any future videos, please leave your thoughts in the comments down below, and it might just happen. Alright, well, that's all the time I have for this video, so I will see you all next week with a brand new one. See you then!